Oh, greetings on this beautiful, beautiful day. I'm just enjoying this sunshine under the beautiful willow tree. And today I'm here and so excited to talk to you about the life path assessment. This is something I've created over the years and I find it a really useful tool just to have a check-in. So first and foremost, it's not a test. It's not about self-judgment to say, oh geez, I need to sort this out. It's about getting some clarity of where you're at. So first of all, let's just stop. Because in order to do this assessment, it really um, not so much it pays to, but there's an invitation to drop deeper. And in the assessment, it talks about from an observer point of view. And quite often, when we're so much in our mental or emotional state, when we're so caught up in that, we're not connected to our soul state or the authentic part of us. So I just invite you to stop. And in some of the other modules that I'll be sharing, we'll go more into that, how to get into that observer or that place of observation. It's a meditation technique, but just in simple terms, just stop, take a few deep breaths, and just open. Open your mind, your heart, let go of any idea of this is judgment, a test, as I said. It's really a check-in. And do it with the sense of intention to check in of where you're currently at and see it as a tool for of awareness where you can then go, right, wow, I'm really strong in that, and here's some areas that I would like to develop. And that's the key basis of it all. So in the first part of it all, that's what you're invited to do. You're invited to stop, go into that observer technique, that place of, right, I'll just observe it. Now, sometimes if you're a bit stressed, you may go through the assessment and there is some form of bypassing or deception or illusion. So if you're not quite sure of where you're sitting on this assessment, maybe ask a friend or a family member and say, this is what I think, or I'm assessing. What do you think and feel knowing me and that? So that's useful as well. But first of all, just try it yourself and see how you get on. So the first part of it is that you look at your physical well-being and you go through a checklist. Now you don't have to do this, but you can kind of give yourself some form of measurement and say from 1 to 10, where do I sit on this statement? Because it's a series of statements. And then what you do is you go through all through your physical well-being first, and after each statement you just give it a measurement or a rating of where you think you rate on that. Then after that you go on to emotional well-being and you do exactly the same. Even if you don't want to do a rating system, then just put, if you're feeling, wow, that's something that I'd like to work on or something, then just put a cross or some form to indicate that, well, I'll come back to that. So after your emotional well-being, you'll look at your mental well-being, and then you'll go to your spiritual well-being. And these are all statements that you say, and then you really feel into them. And it might be, say, a statement. I'll read one here. I experience a sense of connection with all living things. So you make that statement, you put it out there, and then you go, oh, how does that resonate? And if it's resonating fully, then yeah, give yourself some higher mark. Uh, but if it doesn't, then really just either make a notation or give yourself, where do you think you're sitting between that measurement? And once again, it's not a test. It is just an indication, because then you'll come back and go, well, for me, it's about connection. Okay, so once you've done it all, what you do is you add up your totals, and there in the life path agreement, there's some boxes if you choose to write in your total scores, and that'll give you a total. It'll give you an indicator of what the highest possible score. And hey, look, if you get eight, well, which totals to 800. If you get 800, you wouldn't even be watching this video. Okay, so once you've got that, then you would subtract it, and it'll give you your total, and then there's a gap. This will show you, say, as an example, it might be the highest score is 800, and you might have got 600. So then you know 200 uh, is the gap between you and your ultimate expression of self. And 600 is a really good mark, and it'll vary between people. So once you have that, then we look at a little bit of time management, because they're interlinked. So the next one is you go through and you put down how much time, daily time, and it's just an estimate on your work and your chores, your family, how much are you spending on education, exercise, how much time do you spend sleeping, meals, entertainment, community, social media, all those kind of things. And then you just put a kind of estimate what you do on that, and then there may be a gap that you go time unaccounted for, and that's kind of lost time. So what do we do with all this once you've done that? If you haven't done it already, because this is also part of some courses, then you may choose to pause it. If you haven't downloaded it, then please go, I'll put the download link under this video. Then download it so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And then once you're ready and you've dropped into space, you've stopped, you've paused, you've taken on that observer, and you've gone through the actual assessment itself, then come back to this video. Okay, those of you who've come back, welcome back. So now what I'm looking at is, what do we do with that information? Really, it's a useful tool to look at. Some of you, like I work with some people, and physically, man, they're doing their exercises, they're eating healthily and that, but still, on other areas of their life, their score's a bit lower, and it's just showing them that, wow, I'm not spending time on my mental development or my mental healing and emotional healing. And for some people, they could have it together physically, mentally, and emotionally, but they're just wondering why things aren't working in their life. And that's the metaphysical, that's the spiritual aspect of yourself, the authentic self. So it's about, the whole thing is about finding balance. And it's not trying to score that 800 or that, but it's the real way to use this is to look at it to get balance across all aspects. And some of you, it may be that your scores are really low. I work with people who are having real life crises and challenges. So when I don't even offer it to them to start, because the last thing you need when you're kind of hitting the ground, rock bottom, and not feeling so great, is to do an assessment and then feeling even lousier. So this is good for when you start making some changes in your life, or you are ready to make changes. Take a snapshot, have a look at this assessment, measure it, and then go, wow, that's just where I'm sitting, with no judgment, without the guilt and the shame around it. Just go, wow, this is showing me where some strengths are and areas that I'd like to improve. And then in some other courses, what we do is we gather a lot of this information, and we probably do, well, we do one life check assessment at the start, and then we might do another one in another course later on as they develop up. And it's really good to look back and say, wow, that's where I'm at, and I've put some attention and focus. Yep, I was strong physically, but I wasn't so mentally I was feeling a bit down, which impacted my emotional, and I wasn't connected to spirituality. So if you're working on the mental, emotional, and spiritual levels, then wow, you'll see the scores coming up, and it balances out with your physical. And then as you grow and develop, they do, they raise, they raise up. So, and that's what you're doing. Just, we're always continually works in progress. So this is the invitation. So this is just a real quick, short snapshot. And it's fun as well. So if you look at it, there's links below, or if you've received it as part of the course, you can keep coming back to this video to get a little bit more understanding of it. Or you may choose to say, right, I've done this, I know where I'm at, what do I do next? And that's the next stage. Within the courses I'm going to offer, that's when you go, right, here's where I'm at, how do I get from A to B? How do I move from this place to the place I want to go? Or even, where do I want to go? There is no destination. So first stage is just to have a check-in, a reality check, and just completely own it and just say, yeah, this is where I'm at, with no judgment. And then from that place, then you can say, right, let's grow that. I'd like to mentally. So what are the things that I can do mentally? And I will talk about those in the courses. But here's one for you. Go, wow, I'm so stressed and my mind is always busy. Then we'll talk about mindfulness and meditation techniques that we can lower the mind. And some of the courses will talk about what is creating that stress, the neuro pathways, the unhealed trauma, all of that somatically stored in the body. Let's leave it there. So just for today, or whenever you get time, just hop onto the link below, or if you've got the course already, and just feel free to come back to it as many times as you like. Wow, so bless you all. I'm excited to be offering this from my heart to yours. Bless you all. Enjoy your beautiful day wherever you are.